Hey beloved, it's your sister here, Priscilla. I know life is full and busy, so the fact that you're spending some of your time here means the world to me. I'm excited, I'm grateful, and I don't take it lightly. My heart is to make every episode you spend here absolutely worth it. Now, we've been recording all year to get ready for this launch, so if you hear some references from past months, just know it's all in preparation to bring you fresh encouragement every week. You'll hear episodes with my amazing sister Kristy, inspiring guest interviews, and deep dives into God's Word and the everyday together. I'm so glad you're here, so let's go. This is just the beginning.
We are so strong.
Here we are. Welcome. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is like a dream come true.
Crazy.
A dream /
nightmare for me. No, just kidding.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. We are back again after many years.
How long has it been, actually?
We actually started in 2020. So it's been 5 years since the first one dropped. I feel like I'm really on trend when I say those words. And then the last one came out in 2021. So it's been 4 years.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wild.
4 years, season 2. Here we go.
We're here for the Soul Strong podcast.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
And I am so excited to share this with Sissy Babe. Never called you that in my life. Yeah, so we're excited.
We started, we were on holidays and
yeah, we were.
My sister loves to plan her life when we're on holidays, and
because I'm thinking clearly.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm excited. So I'm like, this is the time that I'm going to
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I'm on holidays, I like to forget my life. I like to forget I exist. There's just a new version of me that's existing that is kind of childless, kind of not.
Our children are with us on holidays,
kind of
by the way,
dependent
but
on
still
me, kind of not.
childless.
No, I just like to switch the whole world and my whole life and everything off when I'm on holidays.
Yeah.
But you love to dream.
Yeah, I do.
You've always been that way.
Yeah.
With Prissy you're always planning.
Yeah.
Our next holiday on the current holiday that we're on. And I'm like,
the amount of events.
Can we just enjoy this?
Yeah, the amount of events, projects that have been planned in a spa or in a pool.
Or in a pool.
Yeah.
And we're all just hanging out talking about it.
I'm like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
As I'm swimming up to them.
And I had actually thought about how I would be interested to do a podcast. I was just like, that'd be fun. I think I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
That thought just kind of crossed my head a couple of times last year.
I didn't know that.
And then I'm I want to do it with people. I don't love myself enough to want to do it on my own. I would just be like, hi. It'd be too awkward. Anyway, so then you brought up, I have an idea. I was laying out in the sun and I was just like, oh, la, 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 la.
You're forgetting about yourself. Well, actually, backtrack a little bit. Last year, I'd been wanting to start the Soul Strong podcast back up. And I'd been praying a lot about the fact that I didn't want to do it by myself again.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it with someone, and you were my first choice. But then I think it was at Christmas. It was at Christmas, we're at Mom's. And I was like, Kristy, what's your year looking like this year?
How busy are you next year in 2025?
And you were like, I work full time. I'm a mom. I'm like, and you named 700 things.
7,000 things, yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Cool.
And then I just left it and I was like, oh, it would be so good to do it with Chris. And then we're at the pool and we're all sitting around. Dad was in the water and we were eating or something. And we were talking about something important, I guess. I don't even remember what we were talking about. And Dad was like, you guys should do a podcast together. And I was like, because I was like, that's my in. That's what I was looking for. And
Kristy,
Kristy,
you're like, don't breathe, I'll scare her away.
yeah, I know. And you were like, you didn't actually be like, I don't have time, or you didn't just
shut it down.
reject it.
I didn't shut it down.
You didn't shut it down
because I know. Here we are. This is what I get for not shutting it down. Here I am. I didn't because I was just like, yeah, I actually have thought of that before, and I was intrigued by the idea. And
that's
I think
what's
I
wild
said
that
to
you had already thought about it. I didn't know that.
Said to you, I've actually thought of like doing a podcast with you. I thought that'd be fun. And that was like I said that casually. Like I was just saying it like I
don't take anything like that casually.
Continuing on the conversation Dad was talking about. I was like, yeah, I thought about it. And then you went with it. Yeah. And then you're like, what about this? And what would we call it? And da-da-da. And then I left it there going like, oh yeah, that was a cool, fun, hypothetical chat. Hypothetical. Oh. That was a cool, pathetic chat. No, hypothetical.
Like, how dare you?
And then like I came to your house one day and you're like, can we talk about the podcast?
Yeah.
And I was like,
you said to me,
no, what have I done?
Because you said to me on the holidays, you were like, I don't want to talk about this on holidays now. So I was like, and my wheels were like, they weren't just turning, they were like on fire by that point.
Yeah, on full.
So I was like, okay, I have to just like put a pin in it. And I think one thing I know about you, timing is everything.
Yeah.
So I had to pick my moments.
Yeah.
And then we went through a whole like
the too much too soon.
Yeah.
You know the girl that did too much too soon? She died, Jill. Friends. You can cut that out. I just remembered. If you did too much too soon for Kristy, I die. I'm like, nah, you killed me. I'm in the water.
And then we're thinking about what to call it. And we went through all these different names.
Yeah. You had your names.
I did.
They were really fun. But then the whole time, Soul Strong just was ringing true for me. Like nothing else was really, I mean, there are good ideas, but what Soul Strong already was, what you had already built with that, and knowing the audience and the women who listened, already having gravitated and having a connection to that name, I felt really passionate about keeping that name. And I believe in the name, and I believed, or still believe in what Soul Strong stands for, and what your intention and your heart was for this podcast.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, let's keep running with that, because that's I think what we want to do anyway. So we'd be essentially rebranding what already exists.
Yeah. Which for me, I thought that was affirmation, because I was not attached to the name anymore. I was like, but for those who maybe this is your first time listening, Soul Strong in a nutshell is basically like we focus a lot on being physically strong, being emotionally strong, mentally strong, but we don't always think about our soul and how our soul is actually, it's almost like the brain of our body. Like it kind of tells our body so much, and the Bible speaks so much about the soul and how the soul needs to surrender itself to God, surrender itself to the Spirit, and not be surrender to the flesh, essentially. And so if our soul is strong, then it feeds into so many other parts of our being.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was convicted about, that reading Psalm 42 years ago. That's where the name came from. And so I took that as like a real affirmation when you were like, let's stick with Soul Strong. I was like, okay, I'm down for that.
And like that week when I brought it up to you, saying let's go Soul Strong, there were like 2 or 3 women that either spoke to me or to you or to Mum saying,
yes,
I still listen to Soul Strong. When are you bringing more out? And I loved it. And that, like the fact that that was the timing of it all. Yeah. I just felt like that was just an open door. Like, yep, this is good. Stay with it. Let's build on that.
Yeah. I thought that was such, well, I hope.
God's timing.
It was a God thing. Yeah. Like the fact that I was literally getting text messages or on Messenger saying, when are you bringing out more?
Yeah.
And you know, by the grace of God, I've had those messages here and there over the years, and I've been so far from a place of actually being able to say, you know, but now it was actually really exciting to say, we're actually working on it, and it's going to be, hopefully, I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. And if no one watches it, I'm excited to just do this with you. If no one listens to us, like in my head this whole time, I was even talking to Reggie about it. I'm like, to be honest, like this doesn't have to, I mean, awesome if it does like take off, but if it doesn't, I'm just excited to do this with you, knowing that we get to talk and share and laugh.
And spend time together.
I'm so excited that we get to do that and spend time together.
Yeah, because I feel like our lives, we live like 3 minutes away from each other and we don't always get to see each other. And I feel like that's such a gift that I realized a few weeks ago just in planning this. We were already spending more time together. We're already on the phone more to each other, sending texts, sending Instagram reels about ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the pressure I felt to make this first episode awesome. Because I was like, after 4 years, we got to make it like amazing.
Yeah.
And then just circulating around what kind of content do we want to present? And something that I love that you said when we were planning was at some point, if there's things that people want to suggest and be like, hey, like, can you talk about this or things
questions
like that?
they might have or things that they're going through.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, tell us your name because I think I've called you Chris a few times.
So my birth name is Kristy, but my friends call me Chris.
Isn't that what you have on?
That's my byline on Instagram.
Your byline, that's so cool.
I think like anyone's welcome to. It's not like an exclusive thing, but I just prefer Chris. I feel like it's my best friends called me that throughout school, like for my whole life. So it just feels you call me that, Jake. Zane, even my mum, calls me that every now and then. Yeah, every now and then she'll call me Chris.
Because Dad, like, he refuses to call us by nicknames. He's like, we gave you a full name for a reason.
He's very old school that way. Yeah.
But he's also been calling me Prissy lately. Which is my nickname. Yeah. And I don't know why our parents called us Priscilla.
They didn't. No, don't. So when we were named, you were Priscilla and I was Kristy. So totally different names, but your
my
name got shortened to Prissy, and then I'm Kristy.
Chris.
Yeah. So Prissy, Kristy. So
Chris and Chris.
Chris is my name. Sylvester is my last name. Yeah. The name I took when I married my husband. So I'm married. We've been married for 5 years. Yeah. Together for 6. We have 2 kids together, Jensen and Aviana. Jensen's 7 and Aviana is 3 still, thank goodness. She turns 4 in June and I'm holding on to 3 because she's just growing. She's shooting up. She's getting tall and she's talking so much. The baby's gone. You know, the little toddler is totally gone. So I'm just like, she's still 3 for as long as possible. Do you want me to keep going? Are you going to ask the questions? This is the part where I'm like, it's weird to just talk about yourself.
Yeah. So what occupies most of your day? What brings in the paychecks?
Yeah. So I am a high school teacher and every time I tell people that, they're like, oh, good on you. Oh, aren't you great? And I'm like, what? Because everyone just thinks being a high school teacher, you're just still dealing with wild animals all day. And in some ways it's true. But no, I love it. I'm a high school teacher. I originally did a history major and an English minor. Yeah. And that's what I got hired for at the school that I work at, which I absolutely love where I work. Yeah. And over time, just things started to shift, doors started to open. I was involved with a musical, which led to me then becoming the drama teacher.
And you've been in musicals as well, which is amazing.
I've been in musicals. Yeah. I've been in production.
And you wore my wedding dress. I love that. I feel like it's my claim to fame. Whenever people talk about it, I'm like, she wore my wedding dress and no one cares. But for some reason,
because they don't get it. Like I used your wedding dress as a costume for a musical I was in. That's right. They don't get like why. They don't get it.
And even if I explain it, they don't care. And I'm like, I don't know why I keep telling people this. They clearly don't care about it. I think I just want my wedding dress to come out at some point.
So I had lots of experience personally, but I didn't study it because when I was in college and everyone would say, why aren't you a drama teacher or why aren't you a music teacher? Honestly, the feedback you would often get from like directors
why aren't you
and
a drama
stuff.
Teacher? It's so dramatic.
No, literally. Was you won't get a job. Like drama teachers are far few and in between, like positions, like the roles. So I was like, all right. He was like, just pick a subject where there's lots of jobs going. And then eventually, if you're lucky, you'll get to teach drama.
Which you are.
Yeah.
You got to that position.
I'm not lucky. I'm like, loved by God. And he just totally totally opened doors. And like you said before, it's timing.
Yeah.
Everything is timing. And I just come back from having a Viana. I was working in the musical, got put as a drama teacher. And from there, I've now become the high school drama teacher. And since then, I've now like the head of Christian life studies at my school. So just one door after the other just opened over time.
That is something that I am so proud of you about. Yeah. Like you're head of department at the ripe old age of, we may not share our ages, but pretty young to be head of department. And I say that because I'm just, I'm really proud of you, Chris. Like it's amazing the achievement that you did, and the fact that you get to like set culture about religion and Christianity, and the way that, because just because it's a Christian school doesn't mean that all the students are Christian. So it's like, I think in another life I would have loved to have been a Bible teacher, because I think you get to set a perception or just invite people to think differently about faith, essentially. Yeah. So that's cool.
I was just saying, that's what I love about it. I can't believe that that's kind of what I get to do, because I became a teacher because I wanted to work with young people, not because I was passionate about teaching a subject or because I loved English or I was good at English and I was interested in history, but I wanted to work with young people. I wanted to help them, influence them, mentor them. And to be able to do that, but also be able to spread the gospel while doing it, I feel like I've won the lottery. I'm like, this is the best. So it's tough, and there are days where I'm just like, why are they trusting me with this? Why did they give me this job? Why do they think I can do it? When you're like having a mental breakdown, or you're just having like a doubtful day or whatever. Yeah. But then you have your wins and you're just like, you learn, and then you look back and you go, oh, I can do this. I'm capable. So I love what I do. It's taxing, but I love it. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I'm so glad you love what you do. You got to love what you do.
You have to. Oh my gosh. You have to be passionate about it, or at least enjoy it. Otherwise it will become
it's too hard.
The 9 to 5 ball and chain.
Yeah, for sure. So I love asking this question when it's like a Sunday afternoon, everything's done, your house is clean, you don't have to like do chores or anything like that, and you can do whatever you want. What would you do? Or what do you do?
I would probably love to.
I can't think of a Sunday afternoon that's been reality.
I can't remember the last time I did that. I would love to sit down with a book, like the current book that I'm reading, and just like read if I can, like if I have the ability to just sit there without being bothered, or it's quiet enough. Have a tea while I'm doing that. Or just like put on a good TV show. I love a good TV show, whatever I'm watching, and just sit down and relax and enjoy. Or go out to my garden. Yeah. If it's an evening and I've kind of done, if I haven't already spent the day, because Sundays is usually a day I spend a few hours out there. Yeah. But if it's the evening, then go out to my garden. Well, it's cool. Go out and water my garden. Maybe put on a podcast in my ears. Or like an album that I can't listen to in the car because I just listen to kids' music all the time. So like put on like an artist or something that I love and just like listen to the whole album while I water. Yeah.
That's so funny. Sometimes when Hunter gets out of the car, I'm like, I can finally listen to it.
I know.
Even if it's adult content, like podcasts. Because there's podcasts that he like. Yeah. He's like, what is this?
Yeah. Jensen's like, this is the longest story ever. And I'm just like, because he was trying to understand when I was like, no, we're just going to listen to my thing today. And I put on a podcast and he's like, what is this? And I didn't know how to make him understand it. Someone's just talking about something. So I just said, it's like a story. It's like someone's telling a story and I listen because I'm enjoying what they're saying and I'm learning and whatever. And that's why he's like, this is the longest story ever.
So when we were setting up the studio, Hunter was like, we're going to make our own podcast here. And he filmed it because he had this, he just got this, we bought him a little camera, my first camera for Christmas. And he was filming Jensen, and Jensen was like showing something like where the toys are, and like I couldn't hear it. The audio was so bad. I couldn't hear it. And he's like, you don't like my podcast? And I'm like, no, I do, but I can't hear what Jensen's saying. So I thought, if he's going to get serious about this, because he does love filming and taking photos and all that, we might have to upgrade a little bit. But All right. Well,
Should we talk about you for a second?
I was happy to skip over and just go into the content.
They need to know who you are too.
Okay.
In case they miss like earlier episodes of Soul Strong where you do talk a bit about yourself.
Yeah.
So what's your name?
My birth name. My name is Priscilla. Priscilla with a P.
Yeah.
Because when I say it on the phone, even this morning, I introduced myself to someone and they said, "Oh, Priscilla."
What?
All the time. I get this all the
What?
time. People think my name is Priscilla, and I've actually never met someone
That's
called
so weird.
Priscilla.
That's such a weird name too.
Yeah, and I go, am I not pronouncing my P's enough? So it's Priscilla. Yeah, that's my name. Or Prissy
And-
for short.
And
And I am married.
married. Just confirming that for all you boys out there. No, just kidding.
Well, boys.
She
hopefully
is taken.
not
Men.
boys.
I'm sorry.
Men.
You're married.
I have been married we've been married for 11 years.
So
together
cool.
for 13.
So cool.
Which feels like a little bit of a
Huge,
milestone.
yeah.
And we have
That's a decade. Like an
Yeah,
entire decade.
a whole
you've been
decade
together.
we've been
So
together,
more
yeah,
than, but
more,
like
yeah.
it's a decade.
and it feels good to be honest, like to have known each other for a long time. So
Yeah.
we met in 2011. So it feels like we've done some innings, which is lovely, and we have 2 boys. So I live in
boys?
I live in a
That's
boy
crazy.
house. Yeah, I'm surrounded by boys.
Crazy.
And I have a 7-year-old and a newborn. I know he's not really newborn; he's 5 months, but
Nah, he's still a
I
little
still
tiny
considering
baby.
him my
That's
newborn.
why that's weird for me when you say 2 boys because I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Like you have boys.
I'm
plural,
getting used to
sons.
saying kids.
Yeah.
Like I've got
Yeah.
children, not just a son or just
Yeah.
one kid. It's like we're in the multiples now. So it's
Do you
wild.
feel like now that you're in the multiples, sometimes you're walking into places like a truckload of children are rolling out the car, even though it's just 2? But like I'm
yes,
used to it
'cause I've still got
now.
a
But when I
pram.
first maybe Abby's first year of life, when I'd arrived to places, I just felt like I was getting out with like my tribe.
Yeah.
Going from 1 to
It
2
feels
is
wild.
just this larger
It is.
focus and amount. Yeah.
But because of the age gap, this is what a lot of people have said to me, the age gap makes a difference because my firstborn is quite independent,
Yeah.
which is great.
yeah.
But then sometimes I think he's more independent than he is, and like we'll get somewhere and he's like forgotten something really important,
Yeah.
or like he's playing with something and he just like he's been making a mess lately for things, like a lot. And I'm like, I'm cleaning up more after you than the baby, you know, because
Yeah.
he's just like spills things, or and then he's like his face is like, what's gonna happen? So but it definitely feels like there's a lot more to think about now. Like when we go away, or even when it's just an overnight, when we go stay at mum and dad's, I have to like think about all this stuff. So yeah, it's a lot, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love having my boys. So yeah.
And so you're on kind of doing the mum thing right now because you have
Yes.
just had a baby. So you're doing your mat leave,
I
but
love it.
just doing the mum thing right now.
Honestly,
Doing the mum thing and starting projects.
Yeah, it's always the 2.
Yeah.
Like I love being a mother, love it, but I also feel like I'm my best self when I can also show my boys, my kids, that I still have dreams in my heart that I want to
Yeah.
like fulfill, and I'll work hard to make that happen. So yeah, it's just given me a little bit of space to be able to do this kind of thing,
That's
which is
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Timing.
Oh, timing is
I feel
everything.
like that's the heading of our episode. Timing.
Okay, so we're going to talk about. I think it's really cool what we're talking about today. So it is that rest is not a reward. Rest is actually a weapon that we can use, which I've never thought about it like that before, and why slowing down actually makes you stronger, because we have a very warped view of that. And so we want to talk about how rest is a strategy, what the biblical principles are of rest. And then also, I thought this was really cool. Why do we feel guilty when we rest?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about actually doing something that nourishes our soul
Yeah.
that makes us feel like we should be doing something productive or
Yeah.
effective or whatever?
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we're going to play a little game, which I absolutely love. So
Should we spin a wheel?
we're going to spin the bingo wheel.
So thank you to our local trusted Kmart. This is not a promotion. This is not a.
It's not a sponsored.
It's not a sponsorship.
either.
Kmart, if you would like to sponsor us, we are willing.
We are willing.
We are ready and
love
willing to
Kmart.
serve. No, but yeah, this is a good old game from Kmart, and we're going to spin a wheel and we're going to ask some sister questions.
Yes, because we're sisters, by the way, in case you didn't pick that up. We are sisters.
In case you
from
didn't see
birth.
the resemblance on the video or hear it in the similarity of our voices.
Yeah, which we don't actually see. We don't see the resemblance
we
very
don't.
much, but we get told
yeah.
often.
Yeah.
When we were younger and we had probably similar hair colors, we used to get told that we look like twins.
Even when you were blonde, like when we both had long hair.
Yeah, we both had long hair at
you
one
were
point.
like blonde,
Yeah.
like full blonde, and I was like brown
Brunette,
or brunette
yeah.
or whatever. People would be like, "Are you twins?" And we're
Yeah,
just
I thought
like,
that was so
"No,
wild.
It's
Yeah.
so weird. And we're years apart. We're
Yeah.
not like a couple of years apart. We're years
Yeah,
apart.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
going to say how much.
And we're not going to say who's older.
Yes. Send your questions in, guys. Send your guesses in. And then you might get something from the giveaway. Just kidding.
The
Just
giveaway
kidding.
is
The giveaway
from-
is a high five. A virtual high five.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that was definitely a
It's
sister
things
moment.
like that people go,
Yes.
you sound so similar,
Yes.
or
And
you
when I went to
talk
your
the
school,
same, or
people
your
were like,
mannerisms.
Oh, you sound so much like Mrs. Sylvester.
My
And I'm
students for
I was here
days.
first. I'm the OG.
For days, my students are like, "Miss, your sister, she's your twin. Like you guys are exactly the same. Even your jokes, you joke the same way and everything. Yeah,
That's a compliment for me
Everything.
because I feel like you're one of the funniest people I
Oh
know.
my gosh,
so if we
no.
joke the same, it's gonna be nice. All right, I'm gonna spin the wheel, and then whatever number that was a. not a
I
very
think you
good
got to hold it and like really flick
There
it.
we go. I am landing on 37.
Okay.
Oh, it changed when I changed the angle, but let's just go with 37.
Okay. If you could time travel, would you visit the past or the future?
Oh, definitely the past. Oh, hang on. I said that really quickly and really definitely. I would love to visit the past.
Yeah.
I would love to visit the past.
Would you visit the past, like go back and see someone you love, or go to like the 50s or the 80s or like a totally different time? Or no, I know you'd go back to the Bible times, wouldn't you? You'd go back and you'd see Jesus or the disciples or Paul or something like that.
Oh my goodness, I would love to see the disciples. We were just reading yesterday in a Bible study about Jesus cooking breakfast for his disciples. Oh, the fun we could have had if I could have hung out with Jesus back then. But then I also would love to see like the late 1800s, like when Australia was kind of becoming a country, or
That's
like even
cool.
American like
Wow,
history.
Cool.
I kind of like that because that's when it's like forming into like I might be lost with my decades, but like when people are getting land and when people are immigrating and people are starting new lives, I just find that era fascinating. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to spin the wheel and I'll ask you?
Sure. 67.
Okay, 67. Who's more likely to start I know this one. Who's more likely to start a weird hobby? You. Yes.
Me.
100% you.
I do. I start weird hobbies all the time. Don't always finish them, but I start them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the best. Okay, maybe one more
One
and
more?
that's it.
Okay. You flick them.
Oh, we're doing
I'll
this
hold it,
together
hold it.
as sisters. Oh, there we go. Okay, 38.
38. Who is more likely to retire early?
Oh, you.
Yeah.
You want to retire like next year.
I'm done.
And I'm like,
so done.
I'm like, I hope I'm 85 and still able to do something. It's not just for money though. Like
No,
it's like
I
it's
know
like
what you
I
mean,
love
yeah.
like being able to build the kingdom. That's like my whole.
okay. You're making me sound like I don't want to build a kingdom. Can you? Let's just be really clear
When
about
I
what
said
she
that, I was
means,
like, okay,
guys.
I'm sounding like super spiritual, but like anything that's
No,
serving
it's so
other people.
true,
But
yeah.
I know that you want to be like
you have that like mentality of like, oh, there's always something to be done. There's always something to
Always.
conquer, something
Yeah.
to achieve.
even when I'm waiting for my kettle to boil.
Yeah.
I will not just stand there and wait.
Yeah.
I will like
There's something
put
you
a
can be
dish
doing.
away or
Yeah.
I'll turn the diffuser on or there's always something to do. And this morning I boiled more than I usually do. So I was like, oh, that's going to take longer. Maybe I should just sit and start meditating. No, I was cleaning and like fixing something. So yeah, I think I just really realized that about myself.
That's the best. I love it. Okay. 46. Yeah.
All right, 46. What's one professional skill you wish you had? That's a great one.
That's a deep one. One
It's very
professional
deep.
skill
Yeah.
I wish I had. Well, am I thinking like in my career? I've gone straight to teaching. Like
Well, it
a
just says
professional
one
skill
professional.
in-
It doesn't say within your.
I think I've got a bit of a ADHD brain, so I have learnt to be organized, and I've learnt to I write things down in my diary and I make lists and I answer emails straight away because otherwise I might forget. Like I'm proactive that way about it. But there are people women I work with. There's one girl in particular. She's just like a mental, like in the professional realm, you know, when you just kind of need to be all over things and knowing the whereabouts of things and when things are on, the dates of events, all of that. She just has it all in her head.
Wow.
And she's able to people go to her for everything. They're like, so-and-so, what's this date or what's happening then? And she'll tell you, even if she's not involved, she'll tell you exactly what it is. And I love that about her. I don't know, is that a professional skill?
I don't think so. I think that's just having a good memory.
I'm just thinking in teaching. It's a good skill to have. Your with itness is everything.
With itness?
Yeah, it's like a word
Are you
we
an
use
English teacher? Is this a real word?
It's a teaching word that
Really?
we use at our school.
Okay.
Other schools use it too, but it's like you're with it.
Yeah. Well,
So you're
I
with
get what it
itness,
means,
yeah.
but I've never heard the word before.
Well, it's a word that we use
Okay.
in our professional and yeah, the with itness. Like she's just like not in a classroom.
Yeah.
I feel like we can cut this out.
Okay, let's get into our topic. I think
Let's do it.
I think we're ready. Okay, so rest is not a reward. Why slowing down makes you stronger. I don't know about you, but did this feel like a little bit against what the current month that we're living in feels like?
Completely.
Yeah.
The fact that you chose this as the topic,
Yeah.
I was like, that's so ironic with the calendar that I have
Yeah.
for February.
Yeah.
By the end of February, we will have been to, I think it's like 13 or 14th birthday parties.
Goodness
We
gracious.
have 4 this weekend, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. And February is always a month that's like jam-packed with birthdays for both families.
It's because it was winter 9 months before. People were hibernating. Now we got all these birthdays.
Yeah. And then there's just like appointments and meetings and rehearsals and
it's the beginning of the year. So
Yeah.
lots of things are like starting, like after school activities or like events or things like that. So it is a wild time. And but I also think like we can say that about February, but we could say that about every month because December is crazy.
Yeah.
And then winter is like the days are shorter. So we're trying to pack more in to shorter days. And it just feels like we're like continuously on this like a rat race that we're trying to get somewhere and we never do. And I feel like one of the most common things when you ask people, how are you, is so busy. Like, I don't know about you. Do you hear that a lot? I hear it a lot. I say it a lot
tired.
too.
Yeah, getting through. Yeah, getting there, getting through the week. Like the attitude and the tone is, and not that it's like people are whinging.
No.
I think people are honest.
And
that's what I
just
love
the
about
fact.
Australian culture. Like everyone just is real genuine about where they're at. And I used to be like it doesn't matter what you've been through. You can still say, I'm doing good, positive.
Yeah.
But now I'm even catching myself saying, oh, so busy, or getting through the week, or is it Friday yet? Like just things like that. Yeah, it's so common.
I was calling because I changed insurance companies and I was calling an insurance company and the guy that picked up, he said, how are you? And I was like, good, how are you? And he goes, oh, well, it's Wednesday, so we're halfway through the week. And I thought, oh, yeah, okay. And then I spoke to him the next week because we were following up And I said, how are you? And he goes, oh, well, it's Monday. So we're just at the beginning of the week and we just got to get through till Friday. And I'm like, Jesus, every single day about getting through the week just to get to the weekend. And it kind of like shocked me a little bit because I was like, that's how some people live. And that's okay. When I'm not saying that's bad, but what if there's something like a little bit better than rather than just thinking about how like crazy life is? What if we like use slowing down and rest as a strategy?
Well, that was one of my goals for this year, which I feel like I'm failing at because February has been so busy. I'm like, this is a disaster. But one of my goals this year was to actually slow down and not be as busy and to say no to things more often, or to say, no, can we do it another time? Because this weekend is blocked out for just being at home with my little family. And obviously there are things you can't avoid, like birthdays or special events that, you know, you kind of just got to you got to do it because it's once in a lifetime or special or whatever it is. It's a celebration. But yeah, I just got to the end of last year and, well, actually, I think it takes a couple of times where you're kind of having a bit of a breakdown as a woman where you're like, I can't actually keep this up anymore. There isn't sustainability in this. So I got to the end of last year just going, something needs to change because I'm going to fall apart if I don't either slow down or cut some things out or do something. And so I love that you said that strategy. We can strategize rest, which is so weird, but you can strategize it for the sake of everyone, really.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Because it's a domino effect. If you are the core, I feel like as a mum and a wife, if you are the matriarch of the home, who's kind of the glue keeping everything working and flowing.
And by the way, can I just interject there? Go you. Go every mum.
Yes.
Every single one of you. If you are listening to this right now and you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling like I am not keeping it together, just we are
You're not alone.
You on.
You are not the only one. Yeah.
You can do this. We can all do this. So I just wanted to like stop and just
it's so true.
I'm just hoping I'm imagining a woman who's driving feeling like I'm so overwhelmed with how much I have to do and just be like, woohoo, go you've got this.
Yeah, because we are for many, and this is not necessarily like a, you know, men versus women thing. This is just the reality of the fact that more often than not, the mums and the wives, we are the taxi drivers, we are the plan makers, and we are the cooks and the cleans and the
cleans.
We are the cleans. The cooks and the cleans. We are the cooks and the cleaners and the laundromat and everything. So I think that's why
I've got my
for me,
baby monitor here just to show that
we do it all. We do it all. We run a
once.
podcast and we monitor our child from a baby monitor. So strategy. It's important.
That's
it's necessary.
Yeah. So for a few years now, I've been kind of a little bit anti the word balance, where we have to like balance everything in life. I don't know if I believe in it because I feel like a true balance is actually equal parts to everything that we're holding up. And we could never do that. If we're working 38 hours a week, we're not spending 38 hours with our family plus 38 hours of cleaning or 38 hours in service or whatever. So I feel like I wonder if instead of the idea of we're trying to hold up all of these different things, we think more about rhythms in our life.
Yeah.
So that's what I love.
Yeah.
And with rhythms there are some rhythms like maybe February is a busier rhythm and it's more full on and it is a bit more wild. But you know that March is coming, or the next season is coming, or this weekend is coming where we're going to be able to slow it down a little bit. And so it means that when it is busy, then we can talk to each other and say, okay, it's going to be a little bit hectic. And we did that a couple of weeks ago because I had a conference that I was leading worship at. And we had my cousin stay with us the week before, and we just had this little 24-hour period in between those two things where Zane and I just went and had like a date day to ourselves, and Mum had the boys, and it was us saying, okay, it's been a busy rhythm. It's going to be another busy rhythm this week coming, but for now we can just stop, and we watched a movie and we went to church, and it was like just really nice. We ate some yummy food just to pause. And so I think in the slowness.
Isn't it amazing though how just a pause sometimes can be all the refreshing you need to get through another 2 or 3 weeks
coming up
of
out of water.
It's just incredible.
Yep.
Just even if sometimes it's just a long afternoon where you're like, wow, everything slowed down.
Everything
The
slows
pause,
down, which is so nice. And I think that I really loved how I read this this morning, that rest is not a reward after we've done something. Like we don't earn rest. So it's like, oh, I got to do all of these things before I can rest. It's actually like, no. If I don't rest, I'm not going to be able to do all these things. Or if I do them, I'm not going to do them well.
Yeah. I feel like there is this inner voice inside of me that I don't know if it is the voice of comparison or the voice that raised me and told me to keep my room clean all the time. But there is this tension I do find that if you're resting and there are things to be done in the house, you're failing.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest things that I combat mentally all the time. And for other women, it might be, you know, if my regrowth is not done or if my car isn't clean or
current status on both for me. Regrowth and my car is full of sand from the beach.
You know, like just things in our lives where we're just like, we're resting, but that area of our life isn't shipshape, you know, so you're a failure because you're resting, but there are things to be done that maybe those things are what other people see. And we're concerned about how people may view us or the perception people may have on us because things aren't perfect and Instagrammable, you know?
So then that would make me, sorry, did you?
No, go.
Because that would make me then ask, what's our goal?
Yes. And that's where I think a part of putting in the rest is going, this doesn't mean that I'm giving into the mess. This doesn't mean that I'm now a mum that's like, just like, my house is just always going to be messy and that's okay. You know, like I do believe we should always try to keep an orderly home and a clean home and all of those things. But it's a reverse on the psychology of it. It's not so much just the physical help we're getting. It's the actual identity we have in ourselves that I think we're shifting. And that's something for me anyway, that I have to shift that for me because I just sometimes the equivalent of rest is being lazy. If I rest, I'm being lazy because there are things to do. So as a mom and as a wife, whenever I rest, and I need it, like I have a menstrual cycle. I have a full-time job. I have kids. I have a husband. I have a house. I have a garden. I have lots of things that are constantly ticking away, a job, all of those things. And I need to rest because I physically can't function sometimes. I actually have to just like lay out and couch potato for a half an hour, an hour. But I am in my head, you're so lazy. You're so lazy. I cannot believe how lazy you're being. Look at all the things that need to be done, but you're choosing to just sit here. How lazy.
Yeah, but this is the thing that this is where we have to change how we view rest. First of all, I think that rest isn't just laying on a couch. It is that. It is, and that it can be so
many other things.
I think this idea of rest as a strategy is about, again, going back to the name of this podcast, is what feeds our soul.
Yeah.
What is it that you can do for yourself? And this is something that my son was born with missing digits, and my friend, one of my really good friends from high school, she also has a son that was born with some health problems. And I remember she said to me one day, don't forget, you got to put your oxygen mask on yourself first. It's actually like mandated on planes that you put your mask on first, because we are no good to anyone else if we don't have oxygen. And so for me, that's been something that I've thought, okay, there are things that I need to do to make sure that I'm okay, because I cannot be a good mum or a good wife or a good homemaker, because I'm loving, by the way, I'm in the age now where I love being a homemaker. Yeah. Like, I think it's just such a pleasure, and it's also an honor to be able to make my home. what I want it to be. And so that's where we need to expand the idea of rest, that it's not just I need to binge a season on Netflix. It's actually like, okay, watering the garden. Like, what is it actually doing for your soul?
Yeah.
For me, it's taking baths. Like, I love taking baths. And sometimes when I've been really stressed at work, I've taken like 2 or 3 baths in a week. And that's when you know, like, that's me taking care of myself so that I can keep giving out.
Yeah.
But then there are other things like spending time. I feel like we're going to get into it, but there are other things that even like practices that we need to kind of have a more of a bird's eye view of what rest is. And it's not just sleeping in. Yeah. Even though some days you need to do that. Yeah. Like some days you need to not set an alarm. Yeah. And if you can, maybe say to your husband, you know, tomorrow morning you need to take the kids, just give me an extra hour or something. Maybe it's that if you have the luxury of doing something like that. But it's understanding that if we don't put on the mask first, if we're not doing something that's going to fill our cup, we're pouring out from emptiness. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is that we end up making really poor decisions. Yeah. And that's something that I've learned just in this last season of my life is that when we're tired, we make tired choices. Yeah. And that's detrimental because it can affect the people we live with. It can affect finances. It can affect, for me, it's food. Oh my gosh. When I'm tired and I'm not rested, the first thing I look for in my house is chocolate. Yeah. And I don't buy myself chocolate when I go grocery shopping because I know that I'm going to do that when I'm tired. Yeah. But I'm like desperately looking and because that's my guard is down at that point. Yeah.
Emotional eating. It's so real for
totally.
me. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like drive through on the way home from work. If I've had a big day, I'm like, I'm having a cheeseburger. I'm having fries.
I love that. I used to do that with KFC.
Yes.
Chips when I was before I was gluten free. I was like, give me some KFC chips, and I'd park my car and I'd watch a TV show on my phone and I'd just be eating my chips and just having like a little 10-minute okay, I'm just going to get myself. All right. Let's talk about some biblical rest. Yeah. Because I think this is really cool.
So what does the Bible say about rest? What is rest in the Bible?
Well, there's lots of, obviously there could be many ways you can look at it, but a couple of ones that I really want to highlight is what Jesus did. I think Jesus, and I'll probably say this a million more times in my life, but Jesus didn't come just to die for us, or else he would have come just for the weekend.
Yeah,
He came to show us how to live. So in his practices, he showed us what it means to have a life. And he said, I've come to give a life abundantly. And that life abundantly is the word Zoe in Greek. And it basically means the very best life that you can have. It doesn't mean it's perfect because we live in a broken world, but it's the best that we can have, which means that we are content, we have peace, we surrender to suffering. We know that there's going to be suffering, but we surrender to it. And one of the biggest things that Jesus did was he prayed. He spent time with God and he withdrew and he prayed. And there's all these references that where he actually withdrew to spend time with his Father before a big thing happened. So like before he began his ministry, he went and prayed. Before he chose his 12 disciples, you know that it was like such an important decision of who am I going to impart into, and then they're going to carry this message to the world. I'm going to go pray about this. I'm not just going to just pick. Before he toured through Galilee, the second time he toured through Galilee, the transfiguration, before he went into Jerusalem. I love this one because, you know, when he went into Jerusalem on a donkey and they laid out palms on is it palms or palm trees or palm leaves? When they laid out those beautiful things on the ground and they were claiming, Hosanna, Hosanna, here comes the King. Before that happened, he prayed. He knew that there was going to be this triumphal entry, but he still spent that time with his Father to say, okay, I'm about to walk into the last city that I'm going to be in before I'm crucified by the same people that are laying down these palm trees or leaves.
Oh my gosh, that's how I feel about my home sometimes. I'm about to clean my house because it's messy, and the same people will wreck it again and will mess it again. I'm going to go pray.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously we know that in the Garden of Gethsemane, before the night before he was crucified, he spent time praying. And that was his rhythm. Like Jesus's rhythm was prayer. And that rhythm is so important because in that rest time, because he wasn't sleeping, he was like, and there's passages in the Bible where it says that he would wake up early in the morning, in the night, while it was still night, and he'd go to a mountainside to pray. He would go and pray, and sometimes people would come and then he'd just minister to them and he'd heal them and do all these miracles and all of that. And then he'd be like, okay, disciples, go on ahead. I'll see you on the other side. I've got to go spend time with God, with my Father. Yeah. And that was such a big weapon for him because it connected him and it made him focus and say, okay, I know why I'm here. Yeah. Which is really powerful.
So good. Yeah, so good.
And the Bible then talks about Sabbath as being like a huge component of rest, that God created this one day every single week because he knew that we're going to need it. But there's this one passage of scripture that I wanted to share, and it's Matthew 11:28-30. And it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Now, we can take this verse and be like, oh, Jesus, we're coming to you. Take our burden, take our anxiety, our cares, all the hard things in life. Take it, God. And then we think that he takes it and we just walk away with no burden and we're done. But what this actually is saying is that the yoke of a slave enabled people to carry heavy burdens, right? So they had to put on this yoke, which is basically like a long bar. I did a bar class this morning. Oh my gosh, it killed my life. Where you put it over your back, and it means that you can carry a heavier weight. So if you're to carry something with your hands, it's too heavy. But if you put it on your back, you can carry a heavier weight. And then the ox and the slave, if the yoke is slightly out, it actually causes pain. Yeah. So it's like digging in and it's like really painful. And then it says, but the yoke of Jesus is not easy because the demands are lighter. So it's not like we just go, okay, thanks God, take the yoke and then we're done. It's actually saying it's lighter because we're looking at it not from the sense of God, Jesus is taking something from me, but we're doing it together. So he comes and holds the bar with us. So we're under this yoke and we're walking through this hardship, struggle, suffering, disease, whatever it is that we're going through, but we're doing it together, which means we look at rest through the eyes of having a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah. I think that there's a real rest that comes from peace as well. And I think sometimes for some people, they can't actually rest because there is an inner turmoil or there is a stress or there is something that is either circumstantially going on in their lives or maybe it's a clinical anxiety or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest things that, because I'm just that whole image of the yoke and doing it with Jesus.
Yeah.
One of the things I've learnt in my life is that you can still cry and be sad and be anxious or be angry or whatever at whatever's happening in your life, but still have peace at the same time.
Yeah.
I think peace and anything that is the opposite of it can exist at the same time. And I think God is so comfortable with that, and the whole thing of the yoke, the equal weight of it is, you are going to carry the loss, the grief, the sadness, the stress, the financial burden, whatever it is that you're facing, you're going to carry it. But my peace is on the other side as well. Yeah. And you're going to carry both at the same time. Yeah. And I think sometimes, because I think like if we're going to talk about rest, we have to talk about, but can you be at peace while you rest, while you take that bath or while you go on that walk or while you go through drive-through and watch your show and eat your food, whatever it is, can you actually be at peace while that's happening?
Yeah.
Because maybe rest doesn't come unless the peace is there.
Yeah.
And I think just acknowledging that and just for me, I love letting other women know, because I've been through things in my life where I'm like, I totally trust that God has got this. I totally trust that there is goodness on the other side. We had a miscarriage between our children, between Jensen and Aviana, and there was such grief, such a loss and such a robbery of joy that happened. And we had to be just patient until we fell pregnant again. And every cycle would come and go. And I had to just rest in that. I had to just be patient and just wait. And we were very, very fortunate that it only took a few months. Some women wait 10 months, a year, 2 years more before from one miscarriage to another or from a miscarriage to a child, But even in just those short few months, I learned that it's a very real lesson that in my rest, there is peace.
Yeah.
And sometimes in rest and in peace, there is sadness.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Those two things can exist at the same time. And that's the perspective, that there is peace and there is rest in the relationship of Jesus Christ that you have with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is such an identity shifter.
Yeah.
Because it means that our rest doesn't come from, we're not hiding away from our struggles. And I think
and not ashamed of them either.
We're not ashamed of them. No. And for some of us, it's not the story we wanted to write for our lives.
No, yeah.
Like there have been seasons that I've walked through that I'm like, if I went back and told my younger self, this is in your future, she would have run away. She would have gone in the opposite direction.
Gone to Tarshish. Not to Nineveh, to Tarshish.
Good old Jonah. But because of that peace, which peace is such a gift, and I think it's underrated. We don't talk about it enough. We don't acknowledge that. It says, blessed are the peacemakers, which means we have to make peace in our lives. It doesn't mean that it's just going to come upon us. So sometimes it's being at peace with something. But the peace that soothes my soul is the peace that's God's got this.
Yeah.
And I just had recently I've been praying about something so much. I reckon when I go to God about it, he's like, here we go again with Priscilla's same prayer request. And I'm like, Jesus, please take the wheel. And he's like, literally, I am taking the wheel, but you need to let it go. And there was something that I was praying about so much. And I just felt like God said to me, I've got this now. You need to actually let it go, and you need to trust me with it. And I think that was such a it was like a punch in the gut in a good way. It was of course you do. Why do I keep asking you to take something that you've already taken?
Yeah.
But it's something that it comes through those lessons, and then I think bringing it back to rest, it means that I rest. It's like the same when Jesus fell asleep in the boat and there was a massive storm.
I was just thinking that.
Were you?
In the waiting, you're like, he's in your boat.
He's in your boat.
Just because he's asleep or just because, he's not moving right now. He is in your boat.
And the sleep part of that story is that Jesus fully trusted in his Father.
Yeah.
That's why he could sleep.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, we're gonna die. They were just wildly crazy. And that's what I feel like. I'm in the boat screaming to high heaven that we're gonna die. This storm is too much. There's been seasons in my life where I'm like, it's too much, God. Enough.
It's time to wake up.
It is time.
Stop the storm.
But it's that complete trust that he has in his Father. And that's what I want in my life. I'm so desperate for it. And I don't think I hit it every time. I think I miss it more times than I hit it. But when I sense it or I feel it or I'm reminded of it, I'm like, that's right. You do have this.
Yeah. I think the fact that you said that Jesus came to show us how to live, not just to die.
Yeah.
And one of the things he modeled, like you said, was that he prayed. He would go away and he'd spend time with God every day. I think it is so key to if you're going to start the journey of strategizing rest and figuring out what that looks like in your life, the first thing you have to do is to seek that relationship with Jesus where you, like you said, sometimes I don't hit that every time. Sometimes I do the whole what's going on sometimes. And he's like, it's good. I'm in your boat. Yeah. Having that relationship with Jesus and having that one-on-one time with him. And it doesn't have to be monumental. It can be very micro and small. I have chosen to go for intentional micro moments than, okay, I'm going to read my Bible at 4:30 in the morning for an hour every day. Like, no, like some people can do that. And I take my hat off to them and go you. And that's why you're so like wise and why you're the pastor of the church or whatever it is. But I am, like it's like Beth Moore or whatever. It's like,
I love Beth
every
Moore.
morning, before my coffee, I have my Bible or whatever.
Yeah. Before my feet hit the floor, I'm spending time with Jesus. I'm like, that's my
so
dream.
Good. Even my hairdresser, she's so awesome. She's like my therapist and she also loves God. So we talk about spiritual things and she's like, my goal this year is before I touch my phone, I touch my Bible. That's her rule. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's so important that relationship is the first priority.
Yeah.
Because without that, you, like you said before, you lose focus, you lose sight of things and it all goes astray. And then it gets to the point where you're going through the rhythms, the busy, then the slow, then the busy and the slow. And you get so far through the year, you go, what happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, first point of contact is that relationship. And however that works for you. And we can talk about that. We can explore what that looks like. But
Thank you so much for listening. We're building the kind of space we've always wanted to be a part of. A community where women can feel and think and laugh and maybe even shed a few tears. This is where real life meets real faith, and shared lived experiences plus open hearts will remind us that hope is always within reach. Our prayer is that every time you press play, you'll walk away lighter and stronger and ready to step into everything God has for you. So thank you again for being here. You are stronger than you know. Sending love, peace, and a little sparkle. If you loved today's episode, we would love if you would share it with a friend and join us at soulstrong.com.au. Remember, we are better together.
I am, you are, we are so strong.